All right, man. Now, you can't just be going against the grain just to go against the grain, KK.
Okay, I won't anymore. Today is the last day.
You're full of shit.
Full of shit, right?
You said that shit with way too much conviction for it to be that easy.
Like, we're not going to talk about
That's
this
fine.
shit. Yeah. But, I mean, like I said, when it comes to the voting, how I look at it, you know, it means something. We've said it 20 times already, so we don't need to say it anymore. I understand how you feel and where you come, and I get it. I don't agree with it, which it's cool, but I get it. Yeah. And just like, you know, the information I got from what you said is not going to make me change how I feel about you as a person. It's going to make me feel, it's going to have me an opinion about that. You know what I mean? I still think you're a dope ass dude. I think you're as kind as anyone else. I think you're too kind about some things. Yeah. I don't know, you had this fucking attitude that you have. That's new. But again, that's learning. No, because you don't understand how kind KK really is, like on the cool. Like he'll give his shirt off his back for somebody. Mm-hmm. But I'm finding out he'll also cuss your ass out too if you didn't get it back to him.
I said, nigga, is that my shirt, nigga?
Oh, ass nigga.
Still got biggie, get my shit back.
So then I guess I can't ask KK this, but I'll ask you, why you kind of touched on it, Tina. Why did you not vote for the other guy?
Who's the other guy?
Oh, there you go.
Wait, what?
Why you didn't vote for Trump?
Yeah. Why didn't you vote? We know you voted for Biden. Why didn't you vote for the other guy?
My views on policy and where I fall in a lot of conversations don't align with the platform he was running on.
I didn't vote for Trump.
Also because he's a dickhead.
Besides that, I didn't vote for Trump based on everything the Republicans have did this year. We're not talking about, you know, a bunch of like just Trump policies and shit, just on what the Republicans this year. The simple fact that the Republicans didn't want to give transgenders a normal right to work, that bothered me. The simple fact that the Republicans didn't want to allow a Washington, D.C. to have a federal voice, but they wanted to take their money in taxes. Like, they didn't want to give them the ability to have a right in federal elections. All the Republicans except the one from Michigan. That was a problem to me. The simple fact that they wanted to take away and reverse Roe v. Wade.
Period.
That is a problem to me. So because of all of the body of work, the simple fact that they didn't want to give us a platinum plan until Trump got back in office, or talk about a stimulus package to help the country until after the election, that was a problem to me. So the whole basis on what the Republicans represented alone is the reason I'm like, fuck the Republicans, right? Democrats fuck up too. I'm not saying they're perfect, but totally fuck the Republicans. And then Trump as the person he is. So the reason why is because Trump being up. So I've said this before. Trump to me is like Obama and T'Challa. All three are the exact same. You have Obama and you have T'Challa. You have little black little boys, black Americans. They see Obama and they see T'Challa. They see Kamala Harris, and it gives them hope, right? I could be a black hero. I could be somebody special. I could be the next black president. I'm not just going to be a thug that shoots people in movies. I could be something more, right? That's what they see, or that's the impression that I get from that. Right. Now you have Trump. It's the same impression people get, but on the exact opposite spectrum. Mm-hmm. My hate can rise and I can rule the country and be like, fuck everybody else and do it my way, not caring about everybody. Trump's not a racist. I don't think he's a racist, but a lot of people that are racist follow him. So he's giving them that moral compass and that encouragement and that, you know, I can be president.
Hell yeah.
And those people should not have that inspiration, in my opinion. Yeah. So just him alone being up there on the podium is giving out a negative false hope to people that shouldn't have that, get that good feeling. Go ahead.
Also, someone that would get up at a White House press conference and be like, they fucking cheated me. That's more or less what this nigga said. The remarks that he made, I think, was it Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday morning.
Well, he was already talking about he wanted to recount before the election.
But we already know how negligent he gets via Twitter. You know what I'm saying? But you done got up here you stepped up to the podium at the White House and decided to say, oh, they cheated me. All these unsubstantiated claims about votes
No
not being
basis.
counted and all this crap. I'm supposed to trust you with the country? Like, if nothing else, his level of not being presidential is enough for me to be like, nah, fam, that ain't it.
Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney, he got on his ass about that shit.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is when you go against the grain of the Constitution and democracy and you're saying that it doesn't work as the president, like you're fucking taking down the foundation of what this country was built off of.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. You're the president. If anything, you need to uphold it. If you lose, even if you lost unfairly, okay, I lost unfairly. We need to be quiet about this and figure it out. Or you just take that loss because you're going to open up a can of worms that don't need to be opened up.
It's like Colonel Sanders saying, fuck chicken.
Yeah, like, whoa, Colonel, this is your fucking lane.
Yeah.
But then it's like, and then when it comes to, so anyway, that's how I feel. That's the reason why, I'll stick with that. That's the reason why I didn't vote for Trump and or the Republicans, because how they feel as whatever. We don't know about your vote. We're not going to ask you that because that's too personal. So we're not gonna ask you about that.
So what's your favorite position? No, I'm just playing.
I get it, but I'm like, it's your natural human right to vote, right? So
sure. I just want to know about you. That's all. I just want to know something about you.
This whole explanation you just had. Mm-hmm. If that's how you feel, fine. You don't got to tell it's nobody's business why you feel like that.
Agreed.
It's nobody's business why I like tacos neither, but I talk about tacos. It's just a conversation. I want you to know me. I want to get to know you. That's all. I just want to see where you're at.
You say agree to disagree all the time. Uh-huh. And you can't agree to disagree about this conversation.
I know.
It's so funny because you say it like you say it all the time.
Like
we're not arguing your right.
Okay, then don't ask me about my right. Then
you can write Tigger in on the ballot, and that's your right to do it. That doesn't mean I don't think you're a jackass for doing it, but you did it.
Yeah,
don't vote for
Harambe. You vote for Harambe. I'm kicking you in your ass. You're not ever coming to my house. Like ever, like our friendship is severed.
Like it's your right to do whatever you like, but that doesn't mean that I don't get to have an opinion.
So after I'm gonna ask you. So what were some of the hot topics? And I'm actually gonna call Shawn after you answer this to kind of see what he thinks about it. Sure. But what were some of your hot topics, if any, that kind of triggered your process? I know you said one of the things were his policies. Sure. Trump's policies.
Sure.
And it's kind of crazy because we really don't know Biden's policies at all. We know what he wants to do. He wants to get us back out of this COVID situation. He wants to.
He not bushing about COVID neither.
He wants to fix that and get the economy running. Not the economy back and thriving, just back on its feet. He wants to talk about global warming. And he wants to get the country back in a togetherness state. That's the three things he mentions a lot. And I think that's dope. We don't know his policies. We don't know his policies at all because he hasn't come up with it. He's not even president. He hasn't came down and said about it. But for the simple fact that he wants to believe in science again and he wants to make people, whether you voted for him or not, he wants to bring people together again. He wants to fight for everyone's right, not just a certain group. And the simple fact that he wants the country to get back going again and people stop and try to contain COVID, which I think is harder than he thinks it is. I don't blame Trump for COVID. I don't. I blame him for his lack of attention to it.
Absolutely.
I think this was going to be what it was going to be regardless.
I think that COVID was going to hit America.
The numbers wouldn't have changed if he was more attentive, but it would have been nice that he would have been more attentive.
No, I think that the numbers would have changed. If there's a federal mandate about wearing masks, about just COVID prevention in general, I think that changes things. It might be 100,000 deaths instead of 200,000 deaths, but that's still 100,000 less.
Yeah, no, I feel it would have happened anyway, because it's like we're not gonna contain a virus unless we have everyone stay at home and no leave,
right? And
that's not gonna happen. And even then, it's gonna find its way. It's a virus. That's what it does.
Yeah.
But as far as like pitting COVID and blaming him directly for COVID, I don't blame him for it. I kind of don't like his inactivity to it, like everyone else.
I think that's everybody's shit though.
But the numbers would have been the same, I think.
I think the numbers would have been different had someone more responsible been
just an adult.
Just a grown up.
Just an adult.
Who acknowledged the fact that it was real and it could kill people, which is probably why his chief of staff has it now, and they've had however many people in and out of the White House because the fucking election was this week. Like,
His cabinet had it. Like everybody had that shit. It wasn't just like one or two people that had it. Like, it was bad. It was a really bad situation. Okay. But I'm gonna call Shawn right now to kind of see if I know it's kind of late and kind of see what he says. Shawn, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you. Tina, say hello. KK, say hello.
Hey, what's up, Shawn?
What's up, man?
What's up, y'all?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for staying up with us. We're I know you kind of been tuning in a little bit and hearing about what we're talking about.
The whole time.
Oh, there you go. That's what I like. So let's jump into it, man.
Every time you don't get clicked off of,
What'd you say?
every time you don't get home, you gotta pay that electric bill, man.
Hey, man, it's not the electric bill. It's my fucking I need to pay that motherfucker too. But it's the AT&T, man. My internet is trash over here. It hasn't been this bad ever. So if we do get cut off, we'll call you right back. And again, thank you for staying up with us. So let's jump into it, man. I know you're
We got a lot to unpack.
and I'm gonna ask you every question that we ask, and I know you're always gonna give us your honest opinion. Who'd you vote for, Shawn? Give it to us.
I voted for Trump.
All
I
right.
can pronounce KK. He's a sweet. Pronounced Calvin. With
Calvin.
a K in it. See?
Calvin. Okay, so we
Kelvin.
Kelvin. See, Calvin. Calvin, that nigga from McDonald's working.
Calvin. Yeah.
Whack Arnold's
Whack
tearing
Arnold's!
this family apart.
So we kind of had a moment of silence real quick. The mic kind of turned off, but go ahead. So tell us who it is you voted for.
Oh, Donald Trump.
All right, and why? What was your reason for voting? So you voted for Donald Trump again after the first time, I'd assume.
Yeah.
Okay, you're one of those guys. That's cool. What's up? So why did you vote for Trump, if I may ask? If you're openly willing to talk about it, some people don't want to speak that.
You can say my name.
I got to put that damn picture, man. Every time with that picture, I see it now. God dang.
Why? So say that again. Why'd you vote for him?
Oh, I was just commenting on that picture you put up of me, quote unquote.
That's not him.
No, that's not really
That
him.
ain't me. Hell no.
He looks- He looks close.
All right,
he
so-
looks close.
I do not. He a damn lie. Look at my Facebook and MySpace.
It's pretty close.
You said MySpace.
Yeah.
He got a Black Planet account and
You
shit.
got a SpongeBob gangster on the profile.
Man, answer the question. Answer the
Yeah, I
question,
went
Shawn.
to school of the pineapple, whatever they put in that shit. All right, so to do it quickly, jobs in America, bringing it back. America as a whole, like what it was founded on, the principles. To me, he protected that.
Hold on.
I used to be hardcore Republican, and I bought into the whole George Bush shit and the Bush family and all that. But they just as worse as any Republican in office right now.
Oh.
So I voted for him because he was an outsider.
Uh-huh.
I knew he was going to do shit with the economy. He preached bringing down the taxes and fighting the swamp, draining the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
All that was good out the gate. That was good enough to get me. And when he did what he said he was going to do, shit, I had no reason not to vote for him again.
So you feel he did everything he said he came in to
I'm not
do?
going to say everything because no politician and no person that goes in, and I'm not calling him a politician. On some level, I guess they all have to sell their soul, and we all do.
Uh-huh.
We can all try to stand up and be all holier than thou, but on some level, we all go against our beliefs to get some section of something more. Like the left hand needs more than the right, so I'm going to go with the left on this one, or vice versa. So on some level, we all do that.
So real quick,
I
Shawn,
did,
so you feel that he did a good job, in these 4 years. Of course, not perfect, but you feel like he did a good job. Why?
For the America that I view and that I think would be beneficial to my children, yes, I do think he.
What America is that? Because you kind of started off the conversation with he kind of upheld what America was built on and the basis of America, and that America, in my opinion, was a piece of shit.
Ditto.
Well, I understand that, and that's a whole nother subject.
It's really not a whole nother subject. It is actually the subject.
Oh no,
think about it.
well, and I don't mean a whole nother subject, but we take us out of the weeds compared to where we're trying to get to.
Yeah.
We'll start with the Constitution. Period. Now, I know people say the Constitution was a racist document. Well, nowhere in the Constitution does it say anything about black or white. It says every man is equal. Now, a woman could have an argument and say, and that's sexist. And nowhere in there does it mention male or female. Every man is equal. Now, here's the thing.
That's
Everybody
not
is
true.
equal. What?
No,
Every man not equal.
it really excluded people of color, if you want to call it black folks, and it excluded
but
non-landowners.
In that time, so if somebody wrote the Constitution word for word today and it said every man was equal, would it not read every man is equal? Back then, how they treated them compared to how it was written, totally different.
But you have to understand, back then, black people weren't considered men. We were property.
I understand that.
So when they said men,
some people's mind they're not equal.
So when they say every man, they meant what they said men, because black people were property. We weren't men. We were livestock.
Well, but you have to understand, so when they say it's a living document, it's a living document. So like that, what they wrote back then might have translated to them a different way than if we were to write that right now in this moment. And I wrote that in front of you, you wrote that in front of me, I'm not going to write that thinking, oh, Damien and KK are not equal to me. And I would hope that you wouldn't write that thinking that I'm not equal to you.
Yeah.
In today's society, you write every man is equal. Every man should be equal, not every white man should be equal.
Yeah, but when you say, he supports the basis of what the country was built on, and you like that, you want to go back to that. You understand, like and I know you don't believe that black people are property. I know you don't believe it, but when you say him wanting to get back to what the country was built on and the basis of the country, you understand that wasn't really a good time for everybody. Your wife had your wife probably had one of the worst times in her life if she was born in that time, and you probably would have treated her like shit.
Correct, but I don't think anywhere in the Constitution would say that put your wife in the kitchen, they can't vote. Well, actually, it probably did say they couldn't vote, but it was a living document, so it changes over time.
I mean, when it comes to the Constitution, for one, and I'll be the first to say it, I think it's a shitty ass document. I think it needs to be rewritten. It's outdated and it's not a living document at all. You have. I got
a book I'm going to mail to you. And I want you to read it, and then we can talk about it.
I mean, they have a rights in the constitutional amendments to where you can, a soldier can quarter your home. I think that's like the fourth one or some shit like that. They have the reason to bear arms because, we're kind of post-war in the Brit. In case someone came and tried to attack you can save yourself and your family. Not to defend yourself from a fellow American, it was defend yourself from the Britons. When it talks about, your First Amendment rights to freedom of speech, it's freedom of speech to petition the government and leading officials because you couldn't do that in England, so to speak. Not to talk shit to your neighbor, because that's actually illegal, slander and libel. You really just can't talk to people any kind of way. So people decipher the Constitution wrong and they use it for the wrong purposes, and it's really not what it means. So it's bullshit when people say, I would like to uphold the Constitution, because if you uphold it for what it is, it's not what you're saying it's for. And that's just facts.
And that's no different than the Bible. Hell, you could read a book and interpret it one way.
We're not talking about another book or a Bible. We're literally talking about the Constitution. Let's kind of just stay right there.
But I understand that, but it's the same thing. It's all about interpretation. And the final say on the interpretation of any whatever, if it's legal, goes to the highest court, Supreme Court. I mean,
again, I get everything you're saying, but it's a lot of wrong. It's a lot wrong in what you're saying. Not that you're wrong, but when people speak, we need to speak facts, and I think it's important. And I get why you voted who you voted for. Trust me, I understand it. And again, Shawn, I know you're a good person. Again, I don't care that you voted Republican, and I don't think you're a bad person because you voted Trump. It means something to me, but as a man, I know who you are, and I like who you are. But
I almost wrote in Kanye. I almost wrote in.
What did you say?
Hold on, say it again, Shawn.
I almost wrote in Kanye, but then I paused. I just pushed Trump.
Kanye.
You're stupid.
But ain't that hypocritical of you, though?
What's hypocritical?
You just said, he's a good person. He a good. What'd you say? He a good person, and that's not him.
No, I know he's a good person, and I know he's a good person as a man, and I know he also voted for Trump. So I'm not judging him as a whole person because of who you voted for or his
that was
political
our whole
affiliation.
conversation, right?
yeah, that I'm not going to judge you wholly off of one thing.
Yeah.
It's your whole body of work. And I like Shawn's body of work.
So what does it matter if you voted for Trump then? If
Just a conversation.
y'all niggas crazy, man.
I mean,
We just said we just want to ask. It doesn't change our entire perception of you,
Trump
but it does.
stuff
It
that-
shows us where to put you.
But he left
in
him
our
where he was
life.
at though.
no, again, it's not just that one topic where I'm going to judge somebody. It's your whole body of work. So if you believe in Trump, you have swastikas or whatever they're calling your home, you say nigger a lot and you're a white person, I'm going to feel differently about you. Not just because you voted for Trump, just because of everything.
Where that come
Hey,
from?
Tina, I actually, my best friend is black.
As funny
That
as
shit
now,
not
listen,
funny, bro.
listen, as funny as it is, as funny as it is, like really, like he's really
I
telling the
don't
truth.
know him.
No, he's really telling the truth. But he's don't ever say that shit again, Shawn.
Yeah, don't say that, bro.
Don't ever say that shit again. I know you're honest about it. I know what you mean when you say it. He's 100% true. Don't say that shit ever again. Don't ever say this, Shawn.
I know y'all be seeing the memes where it's like my best friend's black, and then it'd be like the black friend, and he's like an emo dude. Yeah, like
Yeah, don't do that.
can't do that. Yeah,
Mikey,
see.
No, don't do that.
Every finger.
So
Exactly.
So Shawn, how do you feel about the election right now? This nigga just said my best friend is black. So how do you feel about the election right now and kind of where it's going? Are you like part of the party that feels like, okay, Biden won? Or are you on the party there is a bunch of misleading documents out there and a lot of misrepresentation with the votes?
I think there's a lot of shit that needs to be cleared up. I'm not like, look, if he wins, he wins. I can accept that.
But you say if.
Oh, he won.
Yeah,
Oh, he
yeah.
won.
Don't say if. Like that thing.
No,
You don't.
I mean, he's president-elect until they certify that shit. And trust me, those court cases, it's gonna be drug out. He didn't win just because the media says he won. Don't mean shit. The media could say the fucking moon was falling, and it don't fall.
You know the funny.
Too many people buy into this. What the media says is true, and that's one thing I want to get into when we're talking is, dude, they all went within seconds, like boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah,
It wasn't seconds. It was like 4 days. It was actually a long.
We just found out.
when they projected him as the
It's
when
Saturday.
they projected him as the winner today from 11:25 to about 11:29. And trust me, I was on the treadmill at the gym running, and I saw it bang, bang, bang. I'm like, damn, nobody wants to be last in it.
But I mean,
Nobody wanted to be first.
Yeah, I mean, do you understand when Kobe died? Like once it was confirmed, everyone's going to report the story. But this is the thing.
But it's not confirmed. That's the whole. How can you say so? That's got the Pennsylvania count in the Supreme Court.
Okay.
How you gonna say that's confirmed?
Can I say something real quick, Shawn?
Recounts in Georgia, they got recounts going all over the place.
No. Okay, so put it like this: every year, minus maybe 1 year, when the AP has said somebody has won, no one has ever questioned it.
Exactly.
No one has ever said here. Hold on, real quick. No one has ever questioned the AP's. Now we're not talking about Fox News. We're not talking about the Inquirer saying that he won. When the AP, the Associated Press, says, "Hey, this is the winner of the election," there's never been a time in life where we've questioned it. Never. Now, now,
that's not based off of facts.
No.
So
the AP,
so in 2016,
the media has said.
In 2016, when CNN, AP, whoever projected that Trump was going to be our president-elect, did you question it?
No, y'all didn't actually. And Hillary conceded immediately.
I took it to the inauguration like that. But we also didn't have, actually, we did have this. Okay, so this is fun. So we did have people immediately saying election interference, Russia, right? And for 4 years now, we've been hearing that same thing, right?
But it has nothing to do with the votes because nothing.
Negative. Hold up now. We need to protect the integrity of the election, right? And all of a sudden, doesn't nobody care about protecting the integrity of the election because their guy is projected as winning.
So,
right?
So all those times. So I want you to understand, voter suppression is not a new thing, right? So all these times,
we're not talking about voter suppression. We're talking about
voter
their
fraud.
Words exactly.
Voter
mainstream media's words exactly was meddling.
Okay.
Election meddling by foreign countries.
Okay. No.
Suppression.
Shawn, let's get out of 2016. He had us 4 years. He did a great job, okay? Now we're in 2000.
No, he didn't.
16, 17, 18, 19, that's 2020.
No.
They're talking about this. Foreign countries were going to be meddling in our election.
No. So let's not talk about the foreign countries because that's something that people were talking about. It wasn't proven. It was another conversation, right? We're not talking about Hillary sent there.
Point is the people that we're talking about were the media. So the same people that were talking about that for 4 years are now telling us today.
But nothing was ever substantiated, so there's no point in still speaking about it.
Yeah, that's
we were just asking if you questioned the projection of the president-elect back in 2016 the same way that you're questioning it now.
Simple yes or no.
Yes.
Because this is the
I'm not going to sit here and lie and be like, oh, because my guy was going to leave back then, that my emotions didn't get the best of me and I didn't just take it and run with it. Hell no, I'm not. That's not me. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh no, my side's always right. But you have to be in the same position and say, look, okay, you're right. Back then we did say, and the media did say, this, and this, and then now I'm asking somebody else to just totally ignore that. No, I can't. I'm sorry. There's a lot of emotion that goes into it.
But I mean, you remember, and if you want to talk about 2016, halfway through the election, Trump figured he didn't think he was going to win. He was already talking about how the election is rigged and everything. He didn't like the outcome of it. About 10:30, 11 o'clock. About 10:30, I'll answer that in a second. And about 10:30, 11 o'clock, his numbers came up, and he's like, "This election was great. Everything worked out perfectly." So yeah,
like good shot.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So I mean, it's funny how that is. Now, do I think there was voter fraud in this vote? Yes, I do. Right. But this is the thing. There's voter fraud in every election. Black people, for one, in our communities have been complaining about voter suppression and voter fraud forever. This shit isn't new. But now it happens to the Republicans, and all of a sudden it's an issue.
I don't stand firm on the word fraud. Like, me personally, I don't see any evidence of fraud. Is there negligence? Is there incompetence?
Whatever word you want to use.
How would you see it if Damien is specifically speaking on the black community? How would you see it?
Because they've been complaining about this shit forever, not letting us go to the polls, closing the polls early.
The word suppression. I don't know if I would use the word fraud because I think that gets in like legal areas where I'm not. I would definitely go with suppression. I would feel like they're trying to control that vote or harvest a certain vote.
So that's
depending
cool.
On which side you're talking about.
But both sides do it.
Fraud to me feels like somebody's like intentionally going out and making like writing up votes.
That's kind of no. It's not just intentionally writing votes. It's intentionally not letting people vote at places, shutting them down early, preventing transportation to those places.
To me, that'd be suppression.
It's all bad, Shawn. We could play semantics if you want to, but it's all bad. We don't need to define semantics or fraud. I mean suppression or fraud. It's all bad.
That's what the interviews that I'm seeing in the last couple of days is asking for, like prove fraud. And I don't necessarily think it's fraud. Like there's computer glitches, software glitches. I wouldn't necessarily say. Let me put it this way: I don't think it's intentional fraud. I think there are issues with this election that need to be addressed. Mm-hmm. And that's my problem with all these outlets being like, bam, it's president-elect. Well, can we address those issues before we do all that? But of course they don't want to do that because they want to control the narrative. They're getting people's hearts and minds. And then once it's there, I mean, there ain't no coming back. Like, how many people, like out of the three y'all all kind of agree that he's president-elect, right? Is there anything that could happen that would make y'all go, nah, he ain't president-elect?
Yeah, him not winning. The numbers coming back and someone goes to the Supreme Court, they recount the votes and they come back and it's something negative. There's never been a year that the AP has told me someone was the president and after they recounted the votes or after they verified everything, it has been wrong. There's not one year except the Florida recount that happened and that was some bullshit, but that's another conversation. So I mean, it's funny. Like I say, so if we're going to sit here and count real quick, if we're going to sit here and count votes, why are we counting all the votes in states that Trump lost? Why don't we count the ones in Nebraska, in Colorado, in fucking Ohio? Why don't we sit here and recount those? Because Trump won those by a landslide, but you don't hear no one complaining about that.
No, that's fine. Count them all.
But it's not fine. It goes against. It's not fine. It goes against the what the country was set up and the democracy of this country. It's not fine. We can't go back and recount every vote in every election.
Let me ask you this: have you heard about Bucks County, Pennsylvania? The election director, Tom prepaid.
You're gonna hear stories
He
about
found
there's stories every year about a place to work.
On the news. This isn't something I found on Twitter. Like, I do my research. You know me.
Mm-hmm.
This man came out on camera and said, yes, somebody disposed of a bunch of ballots. Fulton County, Georgia, Secretary of the State, Brad Raffensperger, he came out and said, we've got issues involving our computer software.
Show me the video. I'm not gonna believe somebody say that shit. Show me the video.
Go
He
Google
won't
it.
go one for Fulton County.
There's nothing we could say right now that would.
No, there
sway
is. You
me.
absolutely can. I'm not just saying that. I'm not pulling this stuff out of my ass. What I'm doing is, you're not going to see this on CNN. You're not going to see it on Fox. But you go look at their local news. It's on there. I'm telling you, Google this stuff. Fulton County, Georgia. Google Antrim County, Michigan. Like, there are computer glitches. There is stuff.
You think Donald Trump was gonna win Fulton County, Georgia?
All black people.
Do you know? You know who
All
lives
black
there?
people.
Like,
They count that shit 100 times. It's gonna be the same.
like that's the
I
thing.
admire your loyalty.
There's every year every election there's a glitch or something. I remember there was one time where someone was saying that when you hit Obama, it went down and hit every Republican. Huh?
They're all using the same software.
No.
In Michigan, that county had that glitch. That 37 out of 82 counties are using the same software. And there ain't no telling. And they said it's in other states. So it's not like I'm just looking for stuff to have him win. I told you, I could care less. Like, for me, whoever's in the office, it doesn't really affect my everyday life. But what I care about and why I voted for Trump, and that's why I'm going back to this, is because of what my view of America is.
Okay.
And what I want it to be. If we can't have an election that's full of all integrity and it's legit, well, then what good is America?
Well, that's the thing, though. Who says that it's not? Like I'm not gonna sit here and believe hearsay. If that's kind of what's going, show me the video. But again, with every election, you're gonna hear some bullshit. Like, it's gotten to the point to where, I mean, in one election, Florida fucked up and they had to recount everything, and it wasn't a Democratic issue. It was one of y'all's issues. And I'm saying y'all very loosely. I'm not trying to, pit the Republican ideology on you. But what I'm saying is that, like, it can't always be something when you know how y'all sound. You sound like that kid that doesn't get that job that he thought he was going to get, that he never really worked hard for. And then he's mad and he goes and gets mad at mom and yell at mom and say, they don't like me. They don't love me. I'm going to blow up the school. Like, that's how y'all are sounding right now. You fucking lost.
And that's fine, but that's because
it's
you
not
haven't
fine.
heard any of this stuff. No, I could care less what people think I sound like. Like, it don't matter to me. Like,
Well, it's just Trump and the whole Republican side.
Huh? According to who? Like, how many other Republicans do you talk to? Like, I get the perception of what Trump voters are is what you see on mainstream media and social media.
Mitt
That's
Romney.
a whole nother beast. Like,
I'm just interested to see.
oh, he's a sellout like a motherfucker. Come on.
He's a seller because he believes the right thing and he believes that, like, he goes against the grain of what Trump
because
he
he's not
calls him out.
following blindly. Like,
You understand? Donald Trump was talking shit about Mitt Romney and his wife. Like, Donald Trump insulted the shit out of him, called him the worst names ever. Like, he's not supposed to be like if someone is going against the grain of democracy, mind you, Republicans have also been voted and accused of voter suppression. So to sit here and make it seem like voter suppression is now a new thing and it's a Democratic issue is stupid. It's fucking asinine.
I never said that.
But y'all are acting like that because now it's an issue to where we have to get votes.
I'm talking about, I don't even know what level this goes to, because I'm not saying, do I think what the media, the social media has done is suppression? Yes. And I'm not saying it's new because of obviously what you brought into it. But what we're running into, these computer software things, that's a totally different level, bro. And we haven't had that in the last 5 years. Come on. Like, Fulton County, Georgia, the lady, the election commissioner,
Like that's I mean, I get it. Like I just I mean,
that's why we can't have discussions, because, like, I'm trying to explain something to you that you probably don't know about. The team is just like, who cares?
no, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. And I actually held myself back. I actually held myself back from roasting your ass. Like, I'm really giving you the benefit of the doubt because Damien has vouched for you. You seem like you've done your research, and that's fine. I'm letting you get your rocks off. Like, do your thing. I was already. I mean, this is your time to shine, bro.
No,
I'm not trying to shine. I'm
No,
not
no.
trying to shine. I'm not doing what I need to do for the last 25 years of my life. I ain't trying to shine. I'm trying to get other people to shine. If you knew me, you know what that meant. So it ain't about shining. It's about trying to educate people. And I'm always willing to learn the other side, listen to other people.
I
Better
just
myself.
I'm just lost on where
the computer software thing, like I get what you're saying about the computer software. Like, trust me, I understand it, right? I get everything you're saying about it. But then what? Like there's so many issues that have happened, right? And there are so many other things where this has been an issue. This isn't the first time where there have been computer issues. There was a computer issue during Obama's election, and it's all gotten worked out. And the issue that people thought it really wasn't that big of an issue. It's just something to sit here and say to make it seem like it was worse than what it really was. But then when you talk about voter suppression, there's been many a times where voter suppression was really a thing in black communities in the city. And the reason why it happens a lot in the city is because that's where the Democrat Party is heavily live. It's very dense in the inner city. So they do a lot of voter suppression there, which is voter fraud. It's all the same, and it's never been addressed. But now when the other guy feels like, oh, well, voter suppression is a thing, now we want to make it an issue. Donald Trump has been fucking himself for 4 years. Maybe that's the reason why he's not winning. Donald Trump, if he really believes that everybody is out to get him, then everybody's not voting for him anyway. There's no way everyone is out to get him as he thinks it is, but yet he's still going to win the popular vote or the electoral vote.
Because he got a little under 50% of the country that voted, and if you
a little under is under though.
New York, huh?
I said, but a little under is under. We're a democracy, so majority wins, or it's supposed to.
If you take out California, he's got the majority. California has 4,000 something or 4 million something more votes.
He lost by 4 million. That's a lot.
Just saying, man. I know you've been to California. You might like it.
Why would I not like California? What do I personally have to have against California?
Man, I don't know. I look at a lot of things that they do there, and it doesn't align with what I like.
But that's the part. You're part of a country. You're not part of Texas and Texas only. This isn't the Republic
Correct,
of Texas.
But to say that he has a mandate based on the numbers, and then
you understand majority win.
Numbers that give him that mandate.
But you understand a majority deal. But you understand a majority deal, regardless if the majority were people that you didn't like, they're still part of the majority. They're still part of this country. But to discredit somebody,
so 49 other states, he didn't get the mandate. You just gonna give the mandate to that one state?
I guess it's always a reason for something, and I get it. Like I really get it. I just hate.
I'm not arguing. I'm just asking.
No, I'm listening.
Would you say?
Go ahead.
I did the math today.
You counted numbers.
Oh yeah, every state. Look at the difference. Look to see where the mandate that he claims that he got was from, and that's big. Let's be honest. There was only one or maybe two other states that went over 1 million voter difference. California had 4 million voter difference.
Do you understand how many people in California don't fuck with Trump?
Yeah, they still missing 9 million votes.
How you missing? Not everyone voted. You understand how many people in California and New York don't fuck with Trump? Like, do you understand that? You understand that's a whole different type of environment. You understand that. You understand the environment out there is not set up for. It's a very hippie, democratic, liberal type area. I don't know why we're surprised.
4,630,000.
Fuck the votes. He could win. Biden could win by 1 vote. Okay, fuck 4 million. He could win by 1 vote. He has those electoral votes. So again, we're talking about something that means apps. So let's say he, instead of winning by 4 million, he won by 100,000. He still got the whole 53 electoral votes from California. So again, huh?
I think it's 55.
55. So again, we're splitting hairs for no fucking reason. That's what I'm talking about. How it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So voter suppression and voter fraud happens in every election, not just this one. This is something that happens on both sides. You take account of it, it's going to even itself out. But there's nothing that we can talk about to make Trump win California. When's the last time a Democrat won California? Never?
You're a Republican?
Yeah, Republican. But
Did
that's
you just
kinda,
hang up?
No, I think my signal went bad on it. But we'll talk.
Sorry, Shawn. They attacked me too.
Yeah, no.
They're just attacking people today. They
I just
bullies.
have a problem when like overt racism is not a deal breaker.
Yeah.
That bothers me.
Yeah, it's just the excuses and the reasons.
And excuses are tools of the incompetent.
It's crazy. I don't know. It's the views like it's just some effect that it's like you don't want your guy to lose, so you're gonna sit here and make everything up for it. But you know your guy was in a hole all year. He's been fucking himself.
Right.
So it's like instead of talking about those issues and why he's fucking himself, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna make it seem like it's
somebody else's fault. Yeah, that's my problem. He was a shitty president, bro.
And that's kind of all it was.
Yeah, he did a bad job, and people that voted for him before did not vote for him again.
I mean, and I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get a lot of Trump supporters, and just on their thought process, it's these excuses. Yeah. It's just excuse after excuse after excuse. Like Trump, he did not do a good job overall. He when you looked at him, he didn't get like it's crazy. Biden and Kamala Harris, they're up there on.
They're so presidential, bro. Like
it's inspiring.
They got fucking sense. They got sense, bro. Like that's the shit that's like wild to me.
And Biden can't speak a lick.
No, he can't. That teleprompter be saving his life. That teleprompter, boy.
Biden can't speak a lick, but the thing is that when he's up there, like you say, it's like he's talking positive. Mm-hmm. He's not sitting there making fun of nobody or talking shit about somebody or out there insulting somebody his whole speech or even half of his speech. He's talking about unity. Mm-hmm. Whether he believes it or not, he's talking about unity. He's talking about bringing everybody together.
He's acknowledging the fact that it's fucked up out here. Like, there's really no other way to put it. He's acknowledging the fact that we're divided. There are people who are having a harder time moving about and living their actual lives because of the things that have been put out from the president. Like, that shit matters, bro. Like, that shit is crazy to me. When you can't see the errors and you know, like when you can't see the wrong that man did. Yeah. He might have been a superstar for you, but look at the millions of people who are doing bad because of the shit that he did.
It's like you see Trump win, right? And it's crazy. So in D.C., again, like we were talking about, D.C. had his first electoral situation where they had 3 votes this year. 95% of people in Washington, D.C. voted for Biden. Trump had 5% of D.C. That is his home base. Like, you fucked up your home base. Mm-hmm. Like that's how bad it was, right? People were partying and celebrating in front of the White House. People are joyous. People feel like there's hope again. Regardless if Biden is the answer, his presence gives that feel and that euphoria that we have something more to live and fight for in our kids.
I feel like the collective like feeling from the majority of people in America are shit, it can't be worse than what we just went through. Like,
but I don't think but Biden doesn't give me the idea that it's going to be bad.
No. He doesn't give me that feeling either, but I feel like anything is better than the last 4 years.
Yeah. And the whole narrative of, you know, the better of two evils. Like, I don't think Biden is an evil situation. One of the biggest things that I think Biden said, whether y'all believe it or not, is when he was talking about the crime bill that he passed.
Right. He didn't do it by himself.
And he did. But he said he feels like, after hindsight 2020, he would have did things differently. At the time, he felt like with the group of people that wrote it, he was doing the right thing. Right. Hindsight 2020 is like, maybe we should have did it differently.
You're right.
So that speaks volumes to me about his character.
Yes. He's able to admit where he was wrong, and shit. Now he has a chance to rectify some of those things.
Could Trump do that?
Fuck no.
And that bothers me.
Trump will sneeze on the mic and be like, "I didn't fucking sneeze."
That's not my booger.
Don't say bless you. Fuck around with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's a problem.
And that's kind of where I have to disconnect. And then the simple fact that Kamala Harris, I know everyone hates her because she was a tough DA. She's a black DA, a black female. She couldn't be weak. She had to do what she had to do. And she was a DA. She was fighting crime.
She could have let some of them go.
I mean,
that was the dumbest shit I seen in my life.
She
She put people in jail because they committed crimes, man. She supposed to be like, "Oh, you black? You know what? Let them go home. Don't kill nobody else, please."
Her career would have been over.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
That was the dumbest shit from black people. Like, y'all for her and she locking your people up because they did stupid shit.
You want to get lynched or locked up?
Yeah, what the fuck you commit a crime, you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I get they trying to say that the terms were longer, but I mean,
is KK saying that
I've always
committing crimes is wrong?
No, I've always said that.
You mean like,
be like, hey,
selling drugs?
Free my nigga Mike. What Mike do? Mike killed 2 people. Now leave Mike in that motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
That nigga need to stay there.
Leave Mike alone.
Yeah. It's like a meme. It was like a
fuck that $15 t-shirt.
It was like R.I.P. such and such. I know he looking down on me. Nah, girl, he in hell.
Yeah, no, that nigga looking up, sad than a motherfucker.
He didn't make it.
Yeah, no, he didn't. His number did not get called that day.
I just feel like black people in general, when we're in positions of power, we have to be like completely undeniable and
tougher, stronger.
Yeah, we got to be way better than everybody else, twice as good as our job at everybody else. Kamala's job was to put people in jail.
Imagine if
she did the fuck out of it.
Imagine if she was the DA and she had the softest penalties as a black woman on black people, and she was letting black people go.
That'd have been her last motherfucking job.
And that would have been her last job.
That'd have been her last job.
Exactly. Or if she would have made it to this point, oh, she's too soft. The country's gonna run amok. And
First of all,
all education working in the call center.
Exactly. As an attorney general, should have got disbarred for one, and she would have probably found herself in jail. So I mean, she would have never been to DA. She would have never got to DA. But I mean, it's crazy, man. Like, and even she said there's some things that she would have done differently, but she had to do it how she had to do it at that time because of the situation. But I mean, that's a part of growing up and becoming something different. But the simple fact that people don't see that they don't accept people changing and becoming better as they get older and realizing their wrongs is sad, because it lets me know that you don't see yourself becoming better or doing more than what you've ever done. Yeah. That's all that shows me. Yeah. But not seeing better in a person in a situation is the worst thing. Obama was in a situation to where he didn't believe homosexuals should get married. He came into the office saying that's the worst thing ever. He'll never allow that to happen. It's not a Christian like. Mm-hmm. Then guess what he did? Yeah. Made it a federal situation to where homosexuals and gays can have they can have a civil union and their marriage can be recognized. But he learned.
It's humanity, bro.
That's
like I don't care. It's not Christian. I don't agree with this that you're doing. I personally wouldn't do that shit, but I recognize the fact that you're a human and you deserve to be happy too. Boom, done.
That's it.
Period. That's it.
Transgenders, y'all should be able to work without getting fired because they're transgenders. Cool, y'all can go to work. Sign. We're done. Yeah. Next. No. I don't believe it. I wouldn't be a transgender. I don't think it's a cool thing to do, but I feel like you should have rights too. Yeah. You should be able to make money and provide for yourself. That's it. Next. What's next? What's the next one? What's next?
This is a dumb argument.
But that's the thing. It's an argument.
Let me let her this qualifier mode. Let me hire this dumb black. That ain't stupid. Let me go and get him because he black. But let me not get her because she's transgender.
Yeah.
She's very fucking qualified.
Yeah.
That wouldn't bother me at all.
It wouldn't.
It's an argument. Like, people really be making that argument. People really are having a very hard time finding jobs. Most transgender people live way below the poverty line. You
think black people ain't getting paid? Them motherfuckers ain't even getting hired.
Exactly.
Until 2020, when they made it illegal to disqualify people because they're like, this is in 2020 that we're giving groups rights. Groups of breathing, living, eating, walking humans in 2020. Mm-hmm. And it's a Republican situation to where they're not voting for these people to have rights. That bothers me. It bothers me. So for me to sit here and to vote for a group of people that don't want to give us rights, and for y'all motherfuckers out there talking about y'all voted Republican because of the money play, y'all are shitty too. I
Y'all
fucking
niggas
can't
is broke.
stand y'all.
Shut y'all stupid ass up.
That's they're not fucking taxing your $40,000 job, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You're getting a tax return back. You're
good.
fine.
Thank
Come on,
you.
man.
But not just that. If you're someone that sits here and says, hey, you know what? I'm voting Republican because of the tax situation and I want money back. In my eyes, you're telling me that, you know what? Slavery is bad, but it's very profitable.
Right.
It's very profitable. So I understand slavery should be something that we shouldn't do, but my pockets speak differently. So I think I'm just going to vote for slavery.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're doing when you're choosing your pocket and your income over what's right and the rights and the equality of people. You're a shitty person. So when I ask, how do you feel about Republicans and your vote? All this shit comes into play when you sit here and say, I think Republicans are great and I voted for them because I believe in this cause and that cause. It just makes me think differently about you. I'll still fuck with you, but we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. It's a conversation with me. I got to figure out why.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not going to discredit you, but it's a conversation. Yeah. But I mean, that's how I feel. This election has been very telling. I'm glad that we have a black person in office. I'm glad that, Kamala is going to be, as of right now, vice president elect. It's a very powerful statement. My kids were able to see, born with the black president, born with a woman running for president, and now a vice president that's black. Like, this is amazing. This is something in the last, 12, in the last 12 years, now it'll be 16 years after this term coming up, is something that no one could ever predict. That would be 2 decades of people in the White House. A woman running, a black person for 8 years, and now you have a woman for 4 years as vice president, who will most likely be the president for 8 years after that, after Biden.
I think the show
after
run
Biden's
too.
term.
Yeah, I think the show run too.
So I mean, it's a powerful statement. It's a powerful statement for the world, and it's giving people hope. And now other countries, Europe, England, well, same place. Now the other countries, all of Europe, they're looking at us differently. They respect us again because we have a prestige back in our White House.
Niggas was laughing at us, bro. Like, other countries were literally laughing at us. We were a joke. That shit sucks. And it's because of the person that was leading the country. And that sucks.
And it was laughable reasons. It was very laughable reasons. The black vote. You want to?
Oh, yes. I've been waiting to hear your thoughts on the black vote.
So, the black vote and the black dollar, y'all are going to hate me for saying this. It means shit. It's not what y'all think it is. The black spending dollar isn't what y'all really think it is. We don't have that spending dollar. We're 13% of the country. We have the least millionaires. We spend money, but we don't spend money like that. Big bank takes little bank every time. We're complaining right now as black people that we're not getting the same wages as white people. So that alone lets you know that our black dollar isn't as big as you think it is. It means something when we don't give it back to the black community, but it doesn't mean nothing in the scheme of totality, right?
Okay.
Now, when you talk about the black vote, what does the black vote mean to y'all too, if I may ask? Just what does it mean to you?
It's black people voting. What?
Right.
What
But
do you mean?
but as important as they sit here and say the black vote means this and means that, the black vote is 13% of the country. Now, out of that 13%, 4% is under 18. Let's just say, so they can't vote. Another, be a modest 1% has felonies, so they can't vote. Right?
Thanks.
Modest 1%. Let's say another 3%. Them niggas ain't voting anyway. So that's what, 3? That's 8%. So that's about a 5-6% vote, right? Mm-hmm. That we're putting in. The black vote isn't actually a black person's vote. The black vote is the feel good that white people have for supporting black issues, and it's their vote for black issues that the white folks are getting, if that makes any sense. Because that's the vote that matters. You're not going to win an election. Let's say we give the whole black 13% to somebody. Mm-hmm. You're not winning a football game with 13% of the points and the other team has, 87%. You're not winning the game. That 13% is not for black people, actually.
It's not everything, but I do think that in this election right here, it did make a difference.
Yeah, but why?
Probably because it was so fucking close.
By numbers, it doesn't make a difference. But our 13%, which is really that's 8% that's voting, it really doesn't hit that hard.
Sure.
But then the simple fact that you support black people, the white people,
Yeah, I got you. Okay,
all
I'm
those
following you.
all
I'm
those
following
white
you.
people are gonna fuck with you.
Yeah.
That's the black vote. It's not an actual black person's vote. That's not what they're talking about. So when white people see you dancing, jiving, and hanging out with the black folks, that's a good person.
Yeah.
We're gonna vote because it's a feel-good vote for them.
Okay, I'm following you.
You know,
I follow you.
But when people try to sit here and say the black vote, black people need to get out there and vote, I get it. We do. But let's not be condescending about what it really means. Let's not sit here and make like the black vote is the black vote. You're fucking with my emotions because we don't mean that much to y'all because we're a minority. If you want to talk about a group that means a lot, it's a Hispanic vote. That's the vote you want to get.
And that's why Trump ass was even in this race to begin with.
Let's not talk about those guys. Y'all Hispanics. Ooh, y'all.
That like Trump.
White cracker one.
But
Ooh,
I
said
think
that.
yeah, you did. But I think I think the problem is we lump them together in that way.
Lump who?
Like
the minority vote?
We call them the Latino vote.
Yeah.
But there's Cubans, there's Mexicans, there's Puerto Ricans, there's
That's true.
There's so many, and because they feel like they're being lumped together in that way, they're like, fuck it. I'm gonna fuck with the people that actually recognize the fact that I'm not the same as this motherfucker that wants to be white. I'm Latino.
You called me a Latino? Oh shit, you got my vote. You're speaking to me.
Basically.
Yeah.
You recognize the fact that I'm Mexican and not Cuban. I appreciate that. Because them Cubans want to be white.
The Mexicans want to be white.
Shit, yeah. That part.
Like a lot.
That
Definitely
part.
them Cubans. But it's a lot of the immigrating Hispanics that want to be white. Yeah. And I totally get it because when you're over in your area and you come over here, you see the white dream. You don't see the black dream. You don't see black people out there thriving. Yeah. And then you see yourself and you're light skinned, you have the good hair. So it's like I can pass for a white person. Yeah. This is going to be better for me to pass as a white person for me and my family as opposed to something else. Right. We're going to jump on that train. So I get it. I totally get it. But like you said, when you speak to that group, it means something to them. And they're going to listen. Mm-hmm. So that was my whole thing about the black vote. It's funny how they sit here and make it seem like our dollar is this and our dollar is that and our vote is that. And it is, but it's a feel-good vote from the white people. That's the vote that they want. So that's why they're going to sit here and hang out with Jay-Z and come out there and pander because it's like, oh, shit, they care about black issues. They say Black Lives Matter. I'm voting for that. Don't be the white president that says Black Lives don't matter. Don't be that guy. It happened.
We see what happened to his ass.
Be the white president.
He's out of there.
Yeah, but be that other guy. It's different.
Yeah.
But then I'm gonna.
Get that.
You know what I mean?
I see where you're coming from. I don't 100% agree, but I get the theory.
It's a raw thought. I haven't really just formulated the right words for it. But like when I'm thinking about it and the pandering, because I will be the first to say the Democrats pander the fuck out of us.
They always do.
I hate it.
Honestly,
they mean well.
Yeah.
They mean well.
They do. They pander to black people so much.
Oh, y'all suck.
But I get it. There are lesser of two evils. You know what I mean?
I hate that.
Like I get it.
I understand it, but it's too much. Like you don't have to. You have us.
We gonna fuck with y'all anyway because we know that they really, really don't fuck with us.
You had us.
You don't
hello.
gotta do that. Yeah.
You don't have to wear the kente calls.
Yeah.
Like and walk around with the black fist.
Fuck.
I can't breathe mask. Like it's too much. Like it's too much. We get it.
That's the truth.
We get it.
That's the truth.
So I'm gonna leave everybody with this, and we're not me, but we're gonna leave everybody with this. Now these are some of the things. And again, thank y'all for rocking with us. It got kind of late. Our internet was being AT&T. I'm putting y'all on blast. Y'all fucking suck. Time Warner. We'll see you next week. But these are some of the things.
Time Warner does Time Warner even exist anymore?
Spectrum. I apologize. So the group,
niggas.
the group formerly known as Time Warner. Okay.
They got Paragon and shit. Paragon.
I haven't heard Paragon in for fucking
Paragon.
ever, bro.
The black dude with LeVar Williams. Right?
Yeah, I haven't heard the word. No one
had a million commercials for Paragon.
No one ever said like who's Paragon, nigga. Godly.
Y'all knew what it was, though, right?
No.
Yeah.
It's just a name
It's
you haven't
just
heard.
funny. Like I just haven't heard that shit forever.
It's just a word that you just don't fucking
Yeah.
hear. Who
Maybe
talks
think about that
Paragon?
black box on top of the TV.
Diamond
nigga.
Shamrock.
Turn that shit to channel 4.
Let's go to Diamond Shamrock. Like, where?
Yeah, like
This
shit
nigga-
like that. Like who fucking talks like it's just funny. Let's get a Betamax.
Oh shit.
You remember those big ass what do they call those
That's
laser
what K-
disc in school? You had to put the big ass laser disc.
That's
that
what
you learned
KK
in.
Highlight Film is on.
You're stupid.
Big ass.
You're stupid. Okay, so this is something that has been going on, and this is why I sit here and say that going forward, and these are just some news stories that I found that I thought were interesting. Okay, having the Biden-Harris ticket is powerful. It's changing the way the world is. Right in Delaware, he's from Delaware.
Joe Biden is from Delaware.
Right?
Yep.
Delaware has its first transgender senator. Right, 2020. An openly gay officer in Ohio was fired over sexuality.
She petty.
Right, she won the sheriff over the guy who fired her. Her sheriff that fired her, she ran against him and beat his ass, and she was fired because she was an openly gay individual. In Ohio, the reddest state out there, right? It's actually a pretty big swing.
Women
state.
are so petty. Shout out to you, sis.
Shout out, sis.
She's probably a Republican.
In Philly, right? The mayor is telling Trump he needs to put his big boy pants on.
He did. He trolled his bitch ass.
Put your fucking big boy pants on.
Yeah.
This is what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. We have Mitt Romney, as I was talking about earlier. He's saying that he disagrees with the allegations of Trump, talking about the just the nature of what this country is built on. You're threatening the whole democracy. And he says, Mitt Romney is Trump. You need to shut the fuck up.
Accountability is a thing, bro.
Accountability is a mother, and that's in life with anybody.
Yeah.
Rhode Island has just dropped this. So Rhode Island was called Rhode Island and the Providence Plantations, right? They in a vote dropped that Providence Plantation. So now it's just called Rhode Island. In 2020, we're not using the word plantation. It's kind of
great.
It's kind of weird. So Rhode Island has just dropped that ending the Providence Plantation off its title. We have there's an openly gay Afro-Latino mayor, a member of the Congress. Right. Alabama, a police captain is being investigated right now for posting "put a bullet in their heads" when he's referring to some Biden voters in Alabama. Right. A police
who just fucking elected a goddamn football coach.
Tupperville. Tupperville. He was actually the coach at he was actually at Texas Tech and everything for a while. Yeah, they just hired he's Republican as fuck.
Yeah.
And they just he's in the Congress, Senate, right, or somewhere.
He's in Congress, I believe.
He's in politics now, heavily.
Yeah.
But Alabama, or the reddest state in the world, are firing somebody because someone said put a bullet in the head to a Biden supporter. In Massachusetts, a cop was fired for yelling racial slurs during an off-duty confrontation. Massachusetts. I don't know if you know anything about Massachusetts, Boston area.
It's white as fuck.
I don't know if it's in Boston. Because I don't know. If you know, Boston, white as shit.
But blue.
Everywhere.
But they're blue.
But everywhere else outside of Boston, number niggas. Not niggas. A lot of Dominicans and everything. But that happened in Massachusetts. I'm not sure if it was in Boston, but it happened in Mass. The DA who led Ahmaud Arbery's investigation was just voted out of office.
Thank God. Get your bitch ass out of here.
So people sit here and say voting doesn't matter.
It matters.
That
like
DA
motherfucker, boy,
that was not going to do anything about Ahmaud Arbery's case until the public got a hold of it, she's out of there. Oh, a Black Lives Matter activist.
I got a new phone. It don't die.
A Black Lives Matter activist has just became one of the first congresswomen in Missouri. These are just the stories that I found.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. These are just some of the stories that I found just Googling and looking up stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stories, 10 feel-good stories on the way that voting is changing things and how we're moving forward as a nation. It's crazy, right? So when people say your vote doesn't count, when people say that, this whole image of Biden and Harris is no different, it's the lesser of two evils, it's really not. Things are changing, guys. Everyone listening. Things are changing, and it's changing for the better, and we should be happy.
I want to say Houston elected a openly gay man for something.
I think San Antonio has a black something. San Antonio black
constable. Bexar County constable.
Oh, Kim.
It's a black woman.
Yeah, a black woman here. Mm-hmm. But voting doesn't matter, right? But yet, we want more representation in this country, but yet we don't want to vote for it and get the people that we don't want in there out and the people we want in there in. And I had a kind of not a falling out, it's not that serious, but a disagreement about that.
That shit is important, man.
It's very important, man. We need to get our shit together. We really do. But again, what do you got for us, KK? What do you want to leave us with? What word do you have to the new America, so to speak? What do you have for them?
You see the text? We froze again.
Great.
Let me see.
But live on YouTube.
That's fine. Go. What do you have?
What are we talking about today? Being that we've been out for 2 weeks, please protect yourself. Trust nobody. Put your fucking mask on and wash your hands and all that good stuff.
She said wash. He said wash your hands.
Wash your ass.
Everything.
Pee when you sit down. Do what you got to do to stay safe.
Did you say pee when you sit down?
I'm being funny, man. Come on now.
This guy.
Come on now.
What do you have for us?
Hey, man, everybody that voted, good shit.
Why?
Good shit. Whoever.
Why did you vote?
Because we told your motherfucking ass to, and you sat down and obeyed and listened with your obedient ass.
No, never vote again.
Mr. I'd be an obedient slave. Shut your ass up, KK.
That's the I'll never vote again shit right there.
Nah, for real. Shout out to everybody that voted for real. Like, that shit is so important. Like Damien just said, like, we're seeing how important that shit really is. There's so many things changing. Hopefully this is only the fucking beginning. Yeah, man, this shit is big, bro. Like,
you finna cry.
No, I'm not finna cry. I'm not finna cry.
I wouldn't see why she wouldn't. It's a pretty dope.
I cried earlier.
Yeah.
I cried earlier.
So explain, today is what?
Oh, today's my daughter's birthday.
Well, yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Yesterday. No, November 7th.
Yeah.
Is my daughter's birthday. The same day that we see the first black woman vice president. Yeah. That's big. That's big.
Her daughter will remember that for the rest of her life. It's something that she can inspire to. And if she wants to get her daughter to act right, hey, motherfucker, remember Kamala Harris is the vice president. Get your shit together. So that's big. And happy birthday to baby girl, too.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Like, that shit is important, man. And not only is Kamala black, like, she black as hell.
No. But she's half Indian and half Jamaican.
She identifies as black. She went to a HBCU. She's a member of a sorority that's within the Divine Nine.
Shit.
She went to fucking Howard. She's black, bro. She's not one of these, I can pass for white and I'm going to do it so I can get ahead type people. She's owned it.
If slavery existed right now, she'd be on a plantation with all of us. Let's just put it like that.
Absolutely.
No, she'd be inside.
But she'd be a slave.
Yeah. Inside is better to be inside. Yeah, nigga.
I'll be in there with her. Your ass would be out there.
I know. I'll be deep in the field. I gotta stay out there. Yeah, we can't come nowhere in this motherfucker.
We gotta call you in with a whistle, nigga.
He sleep. Master sleep. Funny. Come on.
But
yeah, like we have things in common with her. You know what I mean? Like, what other person, president or vice president, have you felt like you had things in common with her? Like we had some of the same experiences as her.
Outside of and that's the thing. Even if she's not fully black, she understands us. She can speak for us. Because regardless if you feel like she's black because she's half Indian and half Jamaican, nigga, when she gets pulled over,
she's black.
Black female.
That's what they're gonna say. They're not gonna say half Indian, half. They don't know that. They're gonna say black female. That motherfucker gets a hot comb to her head or a perm. She's black, bro. So all this discrediting her because of where her parents are from, And regardless, she is a black American. She was born here. She's a black fucking American.
Oakland, right?
Yes, that's what she's black. Like she black, bro.
She's from Oakland. What the fuck does that have to? Well, that's what.
Yeah, like, but that's
like
the thing, man.
say
People want to say she
say anything.
Yeah, people want to say that she's not black, and honestly, like, and I love Obama. I think that what Obama represented for the nation at the time he was in office is like immeasurable. Like he showed so many people what is possible. Kamala is different in that, like Barack Obama's dad is African, right? He was never really around his dad. He was only around him for a really short period of time because he just lived all over the place, right?
His mom raised him.
Kamala is a black woman in America. She was born in America. She was raised here in America. She went to school as a black woman. She went to a HBCU like a lot of people have done. She is a black woman in America like a lot of other black women in America.
With her being vice president, I personally feel her story resonates more than Obama's story.
100%. I agree with you 100%.
Nothing against Obama and what he did because his story resonates as well. But if I have to give a number to it, I'd give 1% more to Kamala Harris's story. Because not only is she a black individual.
She came from a single parent home. Like just...
She came from a struggle. Right. And then she's a woman. So not only is she speaking for a black youth or an adult, she's speaking for women, white women, Mexican women, Hispanic women, just women. Because believe it or not, women are treated like shit. Not just in this country, all over. They're probably treated better in America than other countries. But women are treated like shit everywhere. So, I mean, to see this, even Hillary Clinton, her running for presidency, and she won the popular vote. It's just debatable.
That says a lot.
It says a lot about this country and where we're coming to. So all this shit where I had someone sit here and say that they don't feel like this country is ready for a woman president. I'm like, motherfucker, like, no. When you say that, you're saying that you're not ready for a woman president because this country showed something different. The popular vote was to the white woman. And then we have a black woman in the House right now as vice president. So don't sit here and say the country isn't ready for that when we have transgenders and gays in very prominent offices and CEOs of companies. Don't sit here and tell me that. Just tell me that you're not ready for that.
Absolutely.
And I'll respect it more. Don't put it on the country. Put it on your bigot ass. And the funny thing about it is someone that said that was a female herself who said that.
She need her ass kicked.
Yeah.
I could fight. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
I'm not kidding.
You want to fight somebody.
And that's honestly, that's why I don't really have these conversations in a non-controlled situation.
You can just pop off anywhere.
Yeah.
Just pop off.
Yeah. Like, if you have your views and you respect my views, I can respect your views. But if you just try to shit on my views because you think that your views are better and you spewing some bullshit,
yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
That's why you don't ask people.
I don't have patience for that shit. But
no,
you can.
there's truth to what you're
That's why
saying.
you don't ask people. That's exactly why I don't ask people nothing about that.
But I think that you can read who you can have those conversations with. You know what I mean? Like if Damien and I, let's say Damien and I don't agree on everything. That nigga think Eminem is the coldest rapper out here, and that's crazy. But
debatable.
We can sit here and have that conversation and then not go to a place where it doesn't need to go because he respects my views and I respect his. I think you know that was just an example.
Oh, I'm just I know, I get it.
No, but like I can prime example. There's a person that Damien and I, well, Damien more than me, but Damien was having a back and forth with on Facebook, right? That person voted for Trump, and in my opinion, doesn't really ever argue the true like
topic.
He just said, "Oh, you just need a white savior." Like he just says crazy off the wall shit, right?
Yeah.
AJ, we know that AJ is a Republican.
If this mic can talk.
Yes.
Okay.
And she voted for Trump previously. I don't know what she did this year. That's her business.
We'll ask.
Yeah, we can ask her. She shares.
Yeah,
but we know that in 2016 she voted for Trump.
Pretty sure she voted for Trump again, which is not an issue.
AJ and I had that conversation. Hey, why'd you vote for him? Well, I have really conservative views. Cool.
On that alone, you really can't argue that.
Yeah. Cool.
I understand.
We can have that conversation. There are some people you can engage in that conversation with, and other people that you can't.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like I said, this is not necessarily to me. Well, anyway, we already beat that in the bush. My words of wisdom for today, the day or the eve of the AP decision of the president-elect, there's hope out there again, man. It's a good feeling. It's a way better feeling than when Trump would win. When Trump would win, his supporting cast, they feel empowered. They don't feel hope for everybody. They feel empowered for themselves.
Right.
They feel arrogant. Mm-hmm. They feel entitled, right? We won. When Biden wins, then Harris, in my opinion, it's more of we won. Like the country wins. Mm-hmm. Shit may get back on track. I don't think Biden is bad. I think he's done some questionable shit, but he owns up to it. And I don't think that his cabinet will let him do that shit again.
I don't think so either. I think he really is about to, especially if the Senate isn't flipped, he's really going to have to be on his P's and Q's and be willing to reach across the aisle, which he's already left center, so shouldn't be too much of a stretch.
But just not only that, Trump has fucked up his relationship with the Republicans so bad, they're not even fucking with the Republicans as a true Republican anymore. Yeah. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah. No, I think that he really is going to have to be on point with the things that he does. Everything that he does is going to have to be, he can't be siding with one side over the other. You know what I mean? He's going to have to reach across the aisle. He's going to have to make sure that these really are the best decisions for the entire country. And I think that that's what we have to bank on right now. You know what I mean? And
the cool thing is that with the Senate and the House, the way that is being built right now, like you have a lot of open-minded people there, you know. So with that, with the thought process of everybody being there, it's going to be easier to get goals for the whole country pushed forward as opposed to one group and not the other. And the simple fact that he's bringing education and technology and science back into America when it comes to decisions and rulings, it just fucking makes sense. So I'm happy for it. I'm not, you know, happy for my new white massa, as y'all want to sit here and say with y'all ignorant asses.
Oh, boy. But why would you say that? God damn it.
We're ending the show. Shut up with that bullshit. But instead of sitting here and I don't have that same ideology that we're just supporting a new massa. I feel like we have somebody in there that cares. And if my new massa, if his right hand woman is a fucking black woman, then
I'm fucking with it.
I'm fucking with him. Yeah. I'd rather support the one that has a black woman as his right hand than the one who has a very Christian,
more racist
white man, backwood type dude as his right hand man.
I agree.
You know, and not just because it's the lesser of two evils, it's because I feel like both of them mean well, which means that, you know, and in all honesty, you know, I don't think Biden is gonna have a hard election. I think this election is so fucked up, and I think things are so fucked up that this is gonna be very easy for him to fix. Like he if he fucks this up, he has to try to fuck it up.
He's got to come in with a level head.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see how it works. I'm happy for the election.
I really just need Joe. You cannot die. Okay. Joe Biden is old as shit.
Why can't he die?
I just don't want, one, I don't want that for Joe. Two, like, we don't need no more shakeups in the White House, bro. We don't need him to drop dead on us. You know what I mean? Like, let's just
Kamala running the country be interesting.
Obviously, I'm gonna stand for my black woman president. Cut that shit out. But I think that we've dealt with enough.
Yeah, let's just have it easy for you. Let's just coast through these 4 years.
Let's just ride through the shit. Let's
slowly
just
fix shit up
it.
before you just
shake it up
again.
Let's not forget one of the best parts of all of this.
What?
Betsy DeVos, bitch,
Oh,
get
that
the
bitch is
fuck out of here.
That was the worst appointment ever.
Woo.
She was someone that was head of the education system that actually knew nothing about the education system. It was a pretty.
Never been a teacher.
No, it was a pretty that's a whole nother conversation. But a lot of people in this cabinet are out of there, so that's a
Thank
good
God.
thing. So like I said, we'll see. I know Trump was saying, not Trump, but Biden was saying he's gonna have his cabinet elects and some of his people that are heading the Corona
The task force.
He's gonna have that figured out by the 20th. He gets in with the 13th, 15th. When did they inaugurate him in?
January
I
think it's the 5th. No, I think it's the 5th.
Oh, it's earlier than that. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
I know.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out and we'll let you know. We'll post it. You know, we're wrong. We get it right sometimes. But it's going to be interesting into where we're going next. But the cool thing about it is that I feel positive about it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do. I think the country collectively does.
I agree with that. So once again, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Once again, people listening, check this out. I kind of want to just do something real quick. And I know I say it all the time, but we got a new motherfucking theme. We got a new theme song, so I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about that hoe. And
Trevor gonna cut us off.
I know Trevor, y'all niggas ain't pay for this shit. Y'all ain't got my royalties for this whole nigga.
I got cut off again.
Yeah.
Got from Traps.
Goddamn, T-Man. So tell me what y'all think. This shit kind of bounced to me. And again, after we play this, we're gonna sign out. But thank you once again to Trevor McKenzie. I gave him his whole name. It's Wade Mack is what he calls himself. Chop that hook.
It's still Negro, homie.
That's us, man. Tigger. Did not bounce, nigga.
I thought the shit cut off. Like,
I know, right? Our internet is really.
Uh-oh.
Trevor got us on that, though, right? Damn, Wade, nigga said, hey, nigga, this shit was not cleared by me before. But that's our new theme, man. So when you hear that, we're gonna come in and come out, and we're official, man. We're trying to make it. We're gonna change some things up. We're always gonna try to make this very big and better for you guys. So once again, thank y'all for tuning in to the Socially Irresponsible Podcast. This is again Maverick. We have KK and we have Tina.
Yeah.
Signing out, man.
Good night.
Peace.
Peace.
Good night.